We'll start up. Also, I don't want to see pictures of Tony Blair when I get up in the morning. So we click on this little menu here and go to Options, and we're going to start setting up the various settings. So Firefox is currently our default browser. The tabs are okay. Language and appearance, this is fine. I'm in the United Kingdom, so I've chosen the UK, obviously. Now, files and applications, this is interesting. It's defaulted here to save the files to the Downloads folder on your PC, which is actually probably the best thing to do, because every time it's downloaded there, you know where they're going to go. They'll always be there. Also, they're going to get checked by your antivirus software, which I hope you have. I, as it happens, use McAfee, but there's plenty of others out there that are very good. As far as applications are concerned, we really need to stop the portable, the PDFs from opening up in Firefox. If they open straight up in Firefox, it's nice and convenient, but they're not checked by your antivirus. So we're going to recommend you change it to save the file. Just for its safety and security, really. You never really know what's going to come through on a PDF. Keep the Firefox up to date automatically, no problem. For browsing, that's no problem. Network settings, there's one we need to change here. Generally, whenever you're doing something and flipping to another website, it uses what they call the DNS server on your service provider to find out what the IP address is, the address of your chosen website. But it's generally not necessarily encrypted. So if you want it to be always encrypted, that question, just have the DNS over HTTPS. It'll go to Cloudflare. In many occasions, it'll be quicker than using what you've got on your service provider. But that's the most secure way of flipping from website to website. So we'll choose that. Next, we'll do the home settings. I definitely don't want Firefox Home and see Tony Blair on my front page. So I'm going to use blank page. It's my preference. It doesn't have to be your preference. You can choose whatever you want. I certainly wouldn't choose Google. That's often one people choose, but I'm not going to go there. Firefox Home content. We definitely want to turn this off. We don't want this turning up on your screen. So there we go. We've turned that one off. Search engine. I generally like a search bar up over here. My personal preference. It's got nothing to do with security necessarily, but I prefer that. This you definitely need to change. Google is not a private search engine. Duckduckgo is absolutely private. It's dedicated to your privacy. You can go look them up and read what they have to say. I may even do a video about it, actually. But this is what your default search engine should be. That's not to say that the Google search engine is not good. It's an excellent search engine. But if you can't find what you want with DuckDuckGo, then you will go to Google. Having said that, a lot of what we're about to do will, to a great extent, protect your privacy and security by blocking the trackers and the things that Google and Facebook do so well. Search suggestions, I'm not going to bother with search suggestions. You don't really need that. If you do have them, though, you ought to get rid of these various suggestions that you don't need. Keep DuckDuckGo. You're probably going to search Amazon and Google on occasion, so keep those. This is just to cut down the searches if you do use search suggestions. Privacy and security. This is for tracking, and it does it quite well for custom. It's not perfect. It's better than standard, of course. The only one I would change here is to block the tracking in all windows, even when you're in privacy mode. If you've got the tracking cookies allowed, they are not good. So there we go. Do not track. I would always put a do not track. Many websites don't even bother to honor this, but it's good habit. Excuse me. It's a good habit to have that checked. Delete the cookies and personal preference. I personally like the cookies to be kept. But if you want to be more secure, more paranoid, then delete the cookies. Sure enough, there's going to be less interference, but I actually like it if I've come out of a website and I want to retain what was in the basket. For example, if I've deleted the cookies when I close Firefox, I've lost it. But that's personal preference. It is more secure to delete it, but I tend to like it, so I'm keeping it. Logins and passwords, we don't want the passwords. Maybe I'll show that one. Show alerts about passwords for breach websites. But generally, we don't want Firefox to save our passwords. We're going to use Lastpass, which is an extension, and then you can get it's a free account, but you can get an upgraded account, which is, I'm not quite sure how much that costs, but that will protect your passwords for you and even suggest strong passwords. History, remember history. If you turn this, on to never remember history, it will automatically set this to deleting your cookies. So these two work together. It's your own preference. If you don't want to remember history, then turn that off, but that will also delete the cookies. The address bar, we don't really need very much on here. You just want your bookmarks. You've saved those bookmarks. If you get a ton of bookmarks saved, you're going to want to keep those. So you want those. Permissions, generally your camera, location and microphone, the settings are usually they will ask you, can I know your location? Can I turn on the camera? That's usually fine. The only one that I always turn off is the notifications, because this sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. But you often get these pop-ups that say, allow notifications, and you can click block, but if you allow, you're going to get all sorts of little ads and notifications down here in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Personally, I'd turn them off, but it's up to you. Data collection, we don't want data collection, so we're not going to have that. Security, yes, you may as well block the dangerous downloads. Certificates, good to check the certificates. HTTPS only mode. I'm going to enable this. What's going on is this will normally, if you've gone to a website which doesn't have a certificate, doesn't have the little, you can't see it here actually, the little padlock which shows that it's a secure website, it will enable this and say, sorry, we can't go there because it's not secure. But it's good to leave it on. You can always choose to go, but we're going to add another extension anyway to deal with this. So let's go and have a look at the extensions we want to add. So the first thing we want to add is the ad blocker. So this is uBlock Origin. uBlock Origin. And this will basically block your ads. You can turn this off for any given page. Maybe you want the ads. I personally don't want the ads. Remember, you're still going to be tracked. It just won't show you the ads. So let's just allow it to work in the private. Say OK. So that's added. And you can see here uBlock Origin in the top right hand corner. Let's go to the next one, which is our tracker blockers. And we're going to first of all to go to Privacy Badger. This fellow learns what trackers. Every website has trackers on. My own website, for example, would have Google Analytics, minimally Google Analytics. If you want to turn it off and stop it, Privacy Badger will do that. It learns what trackers are on the websites that you are looking at. It doesn't necessarily tell you which ones they are or close them, but you can see them, and it's a very good privacy blocker. So let's just add it in. Add to Firefox. Okay, and you can read this for yourself. What's how it works and what it's doing. I probably will be doing a video on this as well. Another one, it is more or less belt and braces, but I like to do this. This is Duckduckgo, and it's another blocker, and it shows, you'll be able to see the differences between the blockers. Duckduckgo will show you blockers that Privacy Badger may well have blocked, but it doesn't tell you, whereas Duckduckgo does. So we'll add this fellow as well. Say OK. So there he is up here. So you've got Duckduckgo, Privacy Badger, uBlock. Let's come back out of here. And the next one we want to do is the HTTPS everywhere. This is going to ensure that everything is encrypted. So HTTPS everywhere. Sorry, my typing skills are not the greatest. Here we go. So I'll add to Firefox. And we'll say add. We'll say allow it. OK. And here it is. I'm just going to click on this little S here. What it's telling you is it's on, but it doesn't encrypt all eligible sites. Unencrypted requests are currently allowed. So click that so that everything is on. Now, you can disable if it comes to a site that says that you really want to visit, which doesn't have HTTPS. In other words, it's just HTTP. And you still want to go to it. There's nothing wrong with that, but just you can turn that off for that site. So that's another little click you can do. And you can do this as you're going along. So we've done that one. And the final one we're going to do is Lastpass. You will need an account for this, but we're going to password manager. It's not the only one. If you want a different one, then certainly use it by all means. But this one's perfectly fine. It's just going to take a few minutes while it comes up. There we go. We add it. Okay, I'm going to say OK. Oops, I should have allowed that exception. I should accept its permissions and properties. What you're going to have to do is log in, create an account. It's no big deal, but that will save your passwords and even suggest passwords if you need it. So that's a very good one as well. So essentially we're done. I'm just going to go and do something which I always do because it's missing here. Show my bookmarks toolbar. There we go. And just to see that this paper I know always has lots and lots of ads. There's its block notifications that did not block it, even though we set it to block them. So just click block or allow. I always click block. And we have no ads here, which is wonderful. Also, we've got, if we go to the Telegraph, another UK paper, no ads. So it's doing its job. It has no ads. You can see here on this one, there were 47 ads blocked. It's telling you how many other domains this thing's connected to. And it's blocked 71 ads since we just installed this. Privacy Badger, you can go learn at your own. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Privacy Badger, here we go. It's blocked these four trackers, Telegraph's own tracker, and various other things which I have no idea what they mean. You can look them up yourself probably. If you go look at Duckduckgo, it's classing it as a B+. I've rarely seen a website that's classed as A. Here it's saying yes, it's an encrypted connection. There are unknown privacy practices, but it's blocked 5 trackers here, so that's pretty good. Everything is on OK here. Lastpass is OK. You just got to do your account. So essentially, we are finished. We've now secured Firefox as much as we're going to be able to at this point. Remember, it's not totally secure. So let's close this and we'll carry on. So what have we accomplished? We've shown you how to set the Firefox browser settings for your basic security. We've added some extensions to further enhance your security. But there's a lot that still needs doing, and we're not going to do that in this video. So what we haven't discussed yet, and will be in our next videos, will be VPNs, virtual private networks. These are another must-have. Remember, there's no silver bullet for privacy and security on the internet. It's a layered approach, and the VPN is certainly another necessary layer. It's also not a silver bullet. It only does protection to a certain point, which we will discuss in our next video. Email security, no email that you send is secure. You may as well send postcards unless you're using some pretty secure email, which is available. It depends on how paranoid you are, I suppose. I use something in addition to email, to secure email. I use something called Security Net, which is a product which delivers data from one computer to another. So it's a very, very private way of communicating with your colleagues and your customers. But that's for another video. Data encryption, there's data safes you can put on your PC. There's the actual encrypting individual files as you send them. That's and attachments for email security. So that's also a video which we will be discussing this. And there's browser fingerprints, which is basically Google and Facebook can identify you down to your address, down to where you live. And that's quite dangerous. And there are things we can do to minimize it, but we're not quite there yet with what we've done. We've done a lot of the work, but not the final bits. So there's a lot yet to do. As I said, security and privacy is multi-layered, no silver bullet, and you've got to add more layers that all work together to enhance your privacy and security. So there we go. We're done. I'm going to give a special thanks to all those folks that have given us Mozilla Firefox browser and the extensions. Thanks very much, guys, whoever you are. So thanks to you for watching this video. I do appreciate it. If you like what you've learned, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below and a thumbs up. And as you can note here, a thumbs up is also another tracker that we'll discuss in the future. So there's trackers everywhere. We haven't blocked them all yet. So please click the link below the video to go to my website where you can sign up for our free ebook, 7 Ways to Protect Your Online Privacy. It does discuss a number of these things that we were talking about, VPNs and secure email and security. So if you want to have a quick view of that, please go to our website